The topic for this video is linear programming, which is also known as LPP, that is linear programming problems. LPP is an extremely useful tool which is used in the quantitative aspects of business management. So whenever in the business world we have to take the decisions related to our resources like money, material, space, labor. So LPP proves to be a very crucial tool because the resources are scarce and we have to just utilize them in the optimal manner. So the linear programming problems work with a certain objective function. So whenever there will be any question related to linear programming, there will be one objective function. Objective function is the objective for which we are working. So this objective can be the maximization objective, or for any organization it can be the minimization objective. So maximization objective will be in the case when you have been given the questions related to profits, output, sales. So all these things the organization wants to maximize. For example, there is a teacher and the course coverage is being given. So the objective will be to cover the maximum course. And if the problem is of minimization, that will be dealing with the factors like cost, loss. Like this, you have to control certain factor, minimize certain factor. So the objective of these linear programming problems will be either to maximize or to minimize. And if you want to maximize or minimize, there will be certain constraints. As we know that in every organization, there are certain constraints. There can be labor constraint, there can be cost constraints, there can be space constraints. So within those constraints, you have to work. So objective function is the target that we are going to achieve, and the second main aspect will be constraints. Because we all know that resources are always scarce, the resources are limited, we do not have unlimited resources. So within those constraints we have to work and we have to attain our objective function. So there will be problems related to maximization as well as minimization. So while solving these linear programming problems, we have basically two types of methods available. The first method is the graphical method, in which we will make use of the graph, and with the help of the graph we will try to find out the solution of linear programming problem. And the second method is the simplex method. So in the simplex method, we make use of simplex tables, and with the help of those tables, we try to find out the LPP solution. One thing is very crucial, that if there are two variables in the question like x1 and x2 or x and y, only two variables are there, there we can apply graphic methods, and there we can apply even the simplex method as well. But if the variables are more than two, in that case, you cannot apply the graphical method, because in the graph there are only two x's, x1 and x2. So there if we have three variables, or you can say more than two variables, there are four variables, five variables, x1, x2, x3, x4. So their graphical method is not possible, and here we apply only the simplex method. Now let us start with a simple question related to the graphic method. Now this is a practical question related to linear programming problems. Now in this problem, you can say this is our objective function, that is maximize it. We want to maximize this with these constraints. There are four constraints given in the question. And in every question you will see in the last, it will be written x1, x2 is greater than and equal to 0. Either x1 will be greater than 0 or equal to 0. Either x2 will be greater than 0 or equal to 0. It means there will be no negative signs. So now, looking upon the question how we are going to solve this, the first point you have to start is, we will be writing considering inequalities as equalities. These inequalities, these are two less than signs are there, two greater than signs are there. For plotting these points on the graph, we have to consider these inequalities as equalities. So what we are going to do is, we are going to consider them to be equal. So here I am putting just equal to sign. This is the first equation. Then the second equation. Third equation. and the fourth equation. All the equations we are going to assume to be equal instead of lesser or greater than signs. So now what you have to do is, either you can create 4 lines and these equation can be written in those lines, or we can write it like this also. So what we are going to do is, for every equation we will let x1 is equals to 0. If in this equation we put x1 to be 0, then what will be the value of x2? If x1 is 0, x2 will be 200 by 4, that will be 50. So here we will be writing first x1 value, then x2's value. Same we are going to do with let x2 is equals to 0. If x2 will be put 0, what will be the value of x1? It will be 40. So first x1, so first x1's value, then x2's value. So you have to be very careful while writing. First should be x1 value and second should be x2 value. Same we will do in the second equation also. Now here also we will let x1 is equals to 0, then the value of x2 will be 30. So first is x1 value, second is x2's value. If we put x2 is equals to 0, then what will be the value of x1? That will be 50. So it will be 50 and 0. Then again we will put here x1 is equals to 0, then x2 will be 25. So 0 and 25. Then we can put x2 is equals to 0, then x1 will be 20. So 20 and 0. Then we can put x1 is equals to 0. If x1 is 0, x2's value will be 20, and if x2 is being put 0, x1 will be 10. So like this we have to find out all the possible values. Now I'll just note down these values here because we have to plot the points on the graph. This is from the first equation we have got. From the second equation we got 0, 30, 50, 0. From the third equation we have got 0, 25, 20, 0. This is the values from third equation. And from the fourth equation the values are 0, 20, 10 and 0. So these values we have got from these equations. Now after finding out these values, you will be writing, now plotting these points on the graph. So now we will prepare a graph and we will plot these points on this graph. Now always this will become our x-axis and this will become our y-axis. But in the question x1 and x2 is given. So x1 and x2 will be shown like this on the graph. The next thing is, this will be the positive side of x1. If we have to find the negative side, this will be this for x1, because sometimes certain values become negative also. So similarly, this is our x2 positive side and this is our x2 below negative side. In this question there is no negative value, so there is no need to write. We can simply write x1 and x2. Now our values are going till 50, so we can give them first points so that the graph can be drawn. Here also the difference on both the sides has to be kept same. The margin should be same. Now the first value was this 0 and 50. So 0 on x1, this is our 0 point, and 50 on x2. So this is the first point that we have got from first equation. And the second point is 40 and 0. It means 40 on x1 and 0 on x2. So it means x1 is 40. There is no value on x2. So these 2 points we have got from the first equation. So we have put these points. Now you will join these 2 points. After joining, from which equation we have got this? We have got these values from 5x1 plus 4x2 less than and equal to 200. So you can write this way on the line that this is the equation that we have got. Now second value 0, 30, 0 on x1 and 30 on x2. This will be the point, and 50 and 0. This will be the second point. So these 2 points we have got from the second equation. So now we will be writing the second equation here, 3x1 plus 5x2 less than and equal to 150. Coming to the third equation, 0, 25, 20 and 0. So 0, 25 will be here, 20 and 0 will be here. So we will join these 2 points, and here also we need to write the third equation, 5x1 plus 4x2 greater than and equals to 100. Now the fourth equation values were 0, 20, the same point, 10 and 0. So this will be our fourth equation. So here also you will be writing 8x1 plus 4x2 greater than and equal to 8. We will write like this. Now what you have to do is we have to find out a common area where all these four constraints are being satisfied. Now this is our first equation. This we have plotted, 50 and 40. So 50 and 40 is first equation. This is the first equation. Here the sign is less than. It means we have to shade any area below this point. We cannot go above this point. This is the first condition. Second equation is this, 3x1 plus 5x2. This is also less. It means we have to shade any area which is below this point. We cannot go above this. Now third equation is this. We have to shade the area greater than this. It means we have to move upper than this area. Fourth equation is this. Here also we have to move above this area. So we have to find one specific area in this positive side. You cannot go in the negative sides. If any of the value comes out to be negative also, shading will never be done in these negative sides. So now we have to find one common area where all these four conditions are satisfied. Now looking at this, I can see that this is the possible area where all the constraints can be satisfied. Now see, if you will go below this line, but you have to be above this line. Now from this line we are above, from this line, these two were having greater than sign, so we are above them. These two were having less than sign, so we are below them. If we go here, we will be above this line, but we cannot go above. Here the area was less than. So this is the area that we have got from this points, which is going to fulfill all the constraints, all the conditions given under these four constraints. So now whatever area we find, we give them names. So this is first point number A, this is our point number B, this is point number C, and this will become point number D. Where corners are being created, there we will give the points. Now what we have to do is we have to find the values of these points and we have to put them in one table. Now see how we will prepare that table. Table showing the maximum Z, because our objective was to maximize. So first of all, the columns of the table will be points. What are the points that we have got? A, B, C and D. 4 points we have got from this area. So we will be writing the names of the points. Next column will be values. Now what are the values at this point? At point A, this was my point A. What were the values? The value of x1 is 20, but the value of x2 is not there. So it will be 20. First we will write x1's value, then we will write x2's value. So 20 and 0. This is the first value that we are getting from this. Coming to the second value, B. Now this is point B that we have got. So at point B, the values are 0 and 20. Now here x1 is 0, x2 is 20. Here we are getting another point also. So this point can be given name C, this will become T and this is E. So till E. So every corner should be given one name. When you will prepare this diagram on your copies, you will clearly see 20 will be one point and 30 will be another point. So the third point is 0 and 30. Here also there is value on the x2. So x1 is 0, x2 30. Now coming to point E. At E point we can see at 40 there is one point. So on x1 it is 40 and x2 it is 0. Now one point is left, point D. At point D, there is no one specific point. You can see from the graph exactly it will show you the value of x1 here and x2 here. But to have an exact value, we will have to see how D point has been created. Now this D point has been created from this equation and this equation. Which two equations are cutting over here? So these two equations are cutting over here. So we will solve these two equations. How we equate 5x1 plus 4x2 is equals to 200. And the second equation that is cutting here is 3x1 plus 5x2 is equals to 150. So we have to solve these equations. How we will solve this? By equating. Now we can multiply this with 3 and this with 5. So if you will multiply, the equation was this 5x1 and second was 3x1. Now multiplying first equation with 3, so it will be 15x1, 12x2, 600. Second multiplying with 5, 25, and it will be 750. So now we will be subtracting first equation from the second. So it will be minus 13x2 is equals to minus 150. So from here we can get the exact value of x2, that is 150 upon 13, or we can say 11.5. Now we can put this value in either of the equations and find out the value of x1. So whenever 2 points are cutting on that graph and that point is being selected in the table, so that point will be calculated like this. If now x2 is 11.5, so from here we can see the value of x1 will be 400 by 13. So like this we will get the values. It comes out to be 30.8. So always we will be writing first x1 value, x1 30.8, and x2's value is 11.5. So now we have filled all the values in this table. Now finally what is our objective? So in the question maximize z. What was our maximize z? In the question it was given that our maximize z is 3x1 plus 4x2. Now we will be filling these values in this objective function and we will see where we can maximize. So 3x1, in this x1 is 20, 4x2 is 0. So first answer comes out to be 60. Second is 3, 0, 4, 20. So second answer comes out to be 80. 3, 0, 4, 30. Third answer comes out to be 120. 3, 30.8 plus 4, 11.5. So when you will solve this, the answer is 138.4. Next is 3 into 40 plus 4 into 0, 120. So what is the maximum value? Because this question is of maximization. Our objective is to maximize. So we will be selecting which is the maximum value. So we all can see this is the value which is maximum out of these. So we will be writing our maximize z is equals to 138.4, this, where x1's value came out to be 30.8 and x2's value came out to be 11.5. So this will become our answer. If the question is of minimization, the only difference will be here we will be selecting the minimum value. Rest the entire procedure of making the graph, shading the area, taking the feasible region, then finally putting the values, everything will be same. Only from here you will be selecting the minimum value. So this is how the graphical method is applied in LPP.